The days of peace in the small hut were short-lived. Strangers began arriving in the village of Moyo, men in fine clothes with cold eyes and heavy bags of coins. They spoke to the village chief and demanded to see the blind girl who could heal with her touch. The villagers, though protective of Zuri, could not hold back the tide of curiosity and greed that followed these men. Baba Kofi, now sober and protective, stood at the entrance of their hut when the strangers finally arrived. "We have heard of your daughter's gift," one of the men said, his voice smooth like oil on water. "We can offer you wealth, comfort, and a life beyond this village if you let us take her with us." Baba Kofi's hands clenched into fists, his voice firm as he replied, "My daughter is not for sale." The men exchanged glances, their smiles thin and dangerous. "You will regret this decision," one of them said before turning away. That night, Baba Kofi stayed awake, his eyes fixed on the doorway, knowing deep in his heart that danger was near. Days later, under the cover of darkness, the men returned, this time with torches and weapons. They stormed the hut, breaking down the weak wooden door. Mama Nia screamed as rough hands grabbed Zuri, pulling her from her mother's grasp. Baba Kofi fought with everything he had, but he was outnumbered and beaten to the ground. "Mama! Papa!" Zuri screamed, her voice breaking through the chaos. But her cries were swallowed by the night as she was carried away into the shadows. The village woke to the sound of Mama Nia's wails and Baba Kofi's broken sobs. The people gathered around the shattered hut, their faces filled with sorrow and guilt. Baba Kofi, his face bruised and bloodied, stood up slowly. "They took my daughter," he said, his voice shaking. "But I will not stop until I bring her back." The villagers, moved by his determination, offered what little they could: food, water, and words of encouragement. With Mama Nia by his side, Baba Kofi set out on a journey to find their daughter, carrying with him the hope of a broken family and the prayers of an entire village. Meanwhile, Zuri sat in a cold, dark room, her tiny hands tied with rough ropes. The men who had taken her spoke in hushed tones outside the door, their voices dripping with greed. "Do you think she'll obey us?" one asked. "She will if she knows what's good for her," another replied. But even in the darkness, Zuri felt something warm and steady in her chest. She closed her eyes and whispered, "God, you are with me. I am not alone." Far away in the depths of the night, Baba Kofi and Mama Nia trudged through forests and crossed rivers, driven by a love stronger than fear. Their journey was fraught with dangers,